and welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. I just want to say a welcome back to my beautiful subscribers. Thank you guys for your friendship. Thank you for your support of me, your support of each other in the comment section. You guys are the best soul family I could ever ask for. So I'm so happy to be, and I feel like I could cry. I feel so happy and blessed to have you guys be a part of this journey with me. So thank you for coming back. And if you found yourself here for the very first time, we just want to welcome you to this space with open arms. Please grab yourself some snacks, a cup of tea, and join us. I do pick a card readings on this channel, and we're all friends when we gather here. So please join us. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button if you feel called to. Today's pick a card reading, we're looking at an urgent message from your higher self. This is something you need to hear right now. So if you're drawn to this reading, if you're drawn to one of these beautiful flowers, it's because Spirit has a message for you today. I do have 3 piles for you to choose from, and it's the Battle of the Daisies today, these beautiful Gerbera daisies, which are one of my favorites. The first pile here with the traditional Rider-Waite and this beautiful red Gerbera. Pile number 2 with the Herb Crafter's Tarot with this beautiful two-toned pink and white. And pile number 3 with the Northern Animal Tarot. And it doesn't do it justice, but it's an orange sort of burst Gerbera. One of my favorites. I just love them so much. So whichever pile or piles or flowers or decks are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting for you today from Spirit, from your higher self. This is a message you need to hear right now from your guides, from your higher self. Some messages of hope, some messages of encouragement, some acknowledgement of what you've been going through. My timestamps will be listed below. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1 today. Again, this is an urgent message meant for you from your higher self and from your angels and guides. Hello, beautiful pile number 1. You were drawn to the red flower. Red is my favorite color, so I don't blame you for being attracted to such a gorgeous flower. This is a message from your higher self, from your angels and guides, a message you need to hear today. So Spirit, what does group 1 need to hear today? What does group 1 need to hear today, please, Spirit? All of those drawn to the red flower, to the Rider-Waite. What do they need to hear? We have the first card coming out is the Queen of Swords. So you may be an air sign, an Aquarius, Gemini, potentially, or Libra. What do you need to hear right now, please, Spirit? We have the 9 of Swords. What do you need to hear right now? We have the Knight of Wands. So some of you are having a little bit of anxiety or depression even at the worst end of this 9 of Swords. It's a real despair. On a little bit of a lighter note, it may just be anxiety or some worry about something that you really want to pursue. We have the 4 of Swords here. We have the Sun on the back of the deck. So if you are worried about something presently, if you know that you want to take action upon something, and maybe you've been hesitating to take action too about something that really brings you joy, Spirit is letting you know that the Sun is waiting for you and the universe does reward that boldness. Let's clarify the Queen of Swords, please. A message you need. It's always very important when I'm doing readings like this that remember that I'm dealing with collective energy, and it's for the general collective. So please take the messages as they resonate with you here today and leave behind those that do not, understanding that energy is always in motion. Can we clarify the Queen of Swords, please? A message that pile 1 needs. We have the 3 of Cups. Ooh. 2 of Swords coming out with the 10 of Cups here. Can we clarify the Knight of Wands, please? A message. Thank you. Ooh. We've got an explosion, but the 5 of Wands showing itself with the Ace of Pentacles. So I am going to pull that card. Thank you. Queen of Wands. Back of the deck is the 6 of Pentacles with the 8 of Swords. So the Six of Pentacles talks about giving and receiving, gifts coming in, information coming in, change coming in for you that maybe you've been hesitating to pursue. Maybe you've been hesitating to remove yourself from a situation where you're feeling a little bit trapped and it's bringing you some anxiety. We can see that in the present energy here with the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Wands. A desire to leap, but then again, hesitation from leaping. We have this sense of indecision here with the Two of Swords. And with the Ten of Cups, it could be that you are trying to decide between actions within your home, within your family, of where you want to be, potentially, of pursuing more. It could also just be that, you know, you're on the search for your emotional abundance here with this Ten of Cups. But for some of you, I do feel like you have a little bit of anxiety because you have the desire to move out of your current situation, whatever that situation may be, and it could hold a lot of different scenarios for different people, but I feel like you're having a hard time deciding whether or not you're ready to move on, ready to move forward. There's a lot of insecurity because you don't know where this move, where this inspired thought is going to lead you. So there's a lot of insecurity here, and it's making you really hesitate and hesitate upon what you know to be the right move, the emotional right move for you. But there's a little bit of fear associated with the tangible fallout of that decision. We do see, though, that overcoming this fear, overcoming this insecurity, there's even this mode of perhaps, you know, jealousy or lower level vibrations with the Five of Wands, because it really does speak to me about someone who is really insecure, someone who's not as confident as they could be about their choices or the decisions, again, because they don't know, you know, they're following their heart, but they don't know where it's going to lead them. But what Spirit is really saying is that, you know, the universe does reward that boldness. This beautiful archway with those sharp peaks, it can be a little bit daunting, like the Fool card, where we don't know where we're going to land if we leap into opportunities. But Spirit is saying that, you know, embracing newness, embracing adventure is going to open up new doors for you. We have the Four of Swords with the Queen of Wands here in your future position. The Four of Swords asks us to reflect upon what we want. It asks us to strip away the fear, strip away the emotions surrounding the decision, and to really define inside. Take some time to define what it is that we want as far as our emotional abundance in the future. And then the Queen of Wands encourages us to charge in with both feet, to embody the confidence. That black cat serves as a reminder that this woman gets what she wants. You know, she gets what she wants because she's focused and she doesn't allow people in her wheelhouse that aren't encouraging her, who aren't behind her 100%. So these things that are holding you back, this restriction, for some of you it could be a foundation, again, that you've already have in place, the desire to perhaps remove yourself from this foundation, because I'm seeing the Ten of Swords underneath that as well. It's a perceived prison. It's our mental fears that are holding us back. And Spirit doesn't want to undermine the actual effort and bravery and courage it will take to actually physically move yourself out of a situation that's no longer serving you. But they're also letting you know that on the other side of it are some opportunities and growth. And it's, they want to also remind you as well, your higher self wants to remind you that the purpose of this lifetime for you is to expand, is to experience, is to grow. So if you're feeling stagnant, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you've already gotten everything you can out of your current situation emotionally, then it may be time for you to move forward. With this Two of Swords, you know, the Queen of Swords is here in support of that. This Two of Swords is about that indecision, about not seeing things clearly. And again, you have more power than you think that you do in this situation. And Spirit is rewarding this boldness because they're saying there's a lot of value for you on the outside of this. They don't like seeing this in the present. Instead of, and that's why they have him paired right next to this Knight of Wands. And I keep saying the Knight of Wands is starting to become one of my favorite cards because of what it represents. The mindset that it represents. It represents boldness. It represents adventure, which is how Spirit really wants us to embody this adventure on this planet. Let's get some cards for you. Urgent message from your guides and angels, from your higher self, please, Spirit. We have milk and honey here. There's something about this milk and honey card, you know, that beautiful joy at the end of the rainbow, the golden, what's the old saying, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that sort of waits for us. But there's something about this card that always sort of catches my eye, and it's always this jar. And I know it's supposed to be a jar full of honey. I know it's supposed to be one of those wooden spools, but every time I see it, I see a heart in that jar. And I feel like somebody could be holding themselves back from everything that could make them happy, from the pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, because of perhaps a perceived victory that's already in place. I'm really hearing that song in my head from Maggie Rogers, where she says that line. It goes something like, everyone, I don't remember the exact line, but it says something along the lines of like, you should be happy now. Everyone says you should be happy now in your current situation. And from the outside, maybe a lot of expectations rest upon you. Maybe there's a lot of people who have an opinion about, you know, from the outside, everything looks great. And maybe you're really good at portraying that persona as well, of everything being fine. And which is why the Queen of Swords is sitting here in the recent past position, because she is all about honesty and truth and being honest about where we sit in life and being honest about what we want as well. So there's this sense of like speaking our truth to actually get us to where we want. We have the Loyal Heart card. Some of you are fearful of hurting others, and that's not for everyone, but there is a sense again of making a decision that's going to hurt other people. So, and that brings you a lot of anxiety. So please take that as it resonates. It's like you've put yourself and your desires on a shelf for a really long time. You've put your heart in a jar, perhaps because of self-sacrifice for other people. And now it's time for you to go after what brings you the most joy. We have the Blessed card. And this card I love so much recently, and the Fate's coming out with it here. But this Blessed card has really been speaking to me recently with the number 22, because it talks about feeling that blessing, feeling gratitude. And that's what your higher self really wants you to understand about this Blessed card, because the present moment is the gateway to the future. And if we can embody gratitude in the present moment and feel blessed in the present moment, we're going to bring more of that into the future for ourselves. The Fate card wanted to show up for you as well, because sometimes, you know, we have to work towards, you know, this is the number 8, which really speaks to me about putting an effort into something. And sometimes we really have to work towards a feeling of hope. And I know that sounds terrible, but with this 9 of Swords, like I said, at the worst end of it, it can mean a depression has set in for you. And if that's the case, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. But at the worst of it, it means that a depression could be setting in for some of you. And sometimes we have to work at our expectancy of hope, of joy. We have to work at that gratitude. We have to work at feeling blessed. And that's okay. Spirit doesn't want you to think that there's anything lacking in you. They understand that the ways of this world really drag you down and maybe bog you down with some of that negative energy. They see that in the present. But they want you to understand that there is a beautiful plan in place for you. And leaping into unknowns may just be part of that beautiful plan. We have Serendipity at the back of the deck. Urgent message meant for you from your angels and guides. We have the Rebellion card. Again, speaking to those of you who are resonating with the message that you need, the same walls that maybe you've built up as for protection for yourself are the same walls that need to now come down. I'm looking at that 3 of Cups. I keep staring at that 3 of Cups too. There could be a third-party situation for you, but please take that as it resonates. That is not for everyone. A sense of indecision. We do have this, Sandra's sister knows the body, which is sexual energy and temptation and desire. Back of the deck is the Lost Mary Shelley card. She's been showing up a lot for me lately too, this Mary Shelley card. She wrote Frankenstein, and she was a brilliant author, but she suffered a lot of disappointments and loss in her life, and they really defined her. She lost her husband, she lost children, she lost her parents, and instead of using these experiences as sort of stepping stones to advancement, to kind of overcome the emotional response that pain leaves behind, it enveloped her. It really started to claim her life and claim her experience, and she never really overcame any of that. And that's what Spirit really wants us to understand with this Nine of Swords, is that these feelings, especially with the Nine of Swords, it's such a desolate, despair type of feeling, that joy begets joy, but despair begets despair. And they don't want to see that in the present. That's why they want you to embody boldness. They want you to embody excitement, because it's a dangerous space to be in, and they don't want to encourage that in the future. I almost feel like I feel like there's a lump forming behind my throat, like somebody's crying watching this. We have perfection, trying to be perfect for everybody around you, but it's like giving out every inch of yourself and have nothing left over for you. And everybody reaches a breaking point. Everybody reaches the end of their tether. We have expansion. It wanted to present reversed because you've been prohibiting this expansion for yourself. You've been holding up new beginnings, holding up opportunities because of your sense of devotion potentially to other situations. And I feel like you're the type of person that you would almost happily stay miserable forever if it meant everyone in your life was happy. And again, I feel like I could cry, so I'm sorry if you're crying or if you're upset. I just feel this sense of like, I would gladly sacrifice my happiness for other people if it meant that everyone in my life was happy. It still adds to this sadness, though. It still adds to your feeling of insecurity. We have the prayer card, though, back of deck, making the best out of a situation. Making lemonade out of lemons when life hands you that sort of thing. Where is that deck? It's right here. Message from your guides and angels, please. Keep going. We have healing, Saint Padre Pio. You know, Saint Padre Pio, he was a Catholic saint who had the stigmata on his hands. And he had this saying where he would tell people to pray, hope, and don't worry. Pray, hope, and don't worry. And the healing card is really important for you, especially if you're feeling this dissolution, if you're feeling despair, if you're feeling even anxiety or depression, any of those types of feelings. It's about putting the expectation of happiness. That's kind of what the Knight of Wands represents. Putting the expectation of happiness and success and joy out into the world, and then not worrying about it. Expecting, the universe to correspond to the nature of your song. Expecting that if you throw your cares on the foot of the cross, that God is going to heed you and hear your prayer. We have play music on the back of the deck, Saint Cecilia. That could be something that really resonates with you. That can be a really strong healing tool for you to utilize. Let's get a couple of messages here from your guides and angels. Let's see what they have to say to you today. I'll pull up some of my message cards here. I haven't used these in a while. A message from guides and angels, please, Spirit. You can manifest true love. You have all the power of source inside of you. You can manifest whatever you want in life. A new love is on the way to you. This idea is divinely guided. So if you are considering making moves, taking on new opportunities, freeing yourself from certain situations that hold you back, now is the time to do that. Stop looking backwards is coming out for you as well. Your time of struggle is coming to an end. Stop the self-sabotage. And when I see that card, I often think of the Eight of Swords, because it talks, you can see they're wearing a mask. And sometimes this card really represents how we can get overcome with emotion, so we're not seeing things clearly. If this person took their masks off, they would see that they could walk away from whatever is holding them back. Change is the only constant that we can depend on, so embrace it. You're about to expand your horizons. Things are about to shift and change for you. You have opportunities for growth. You need to share your ideas with the world. And with this Queen of Wands, this is sort of a secondary message. It won't resonate with everybody, but the Queen of Wands is really has an entrepreneurial spirit. So if you feel the need to sort of take advantage of opportunities or to start some sort of business of your own, Spirit is really encouraging that idea. It says change is scary, but regret is scarier. Always remember that. Back of deck, kind of in a jumble here, we see that your heart is heavy. We see that you've been struggling. I'm going to get you one of these cards from Spirit. Advice from your guides and angels, please, for pile number 1 before we do your charm bowl. If you are new to this channel, I do a charm bowl after each pile. And I always encourage, I have my meanings for my charms, but I always encourage other people to decipher their own meanings in the charms as well. Pile 1, please, urgent message from your guides and your angels. We have here, receive with love and appreciation. Gracious acceptance is a way to show love. So you have opportunities and change upon you. And that's the thing, is that Spirit's offering these ways and room for advancement, and it's our job to sort of reach out and take it. We have here, it says, I love you, and these are powerful words. If you're feeling alone, if you're feeling lost, and I feel like I could cry. Spirit just wants you to know that there is a profound amount of love for you coming from them, coming from the other side, that you have perhaps forgotten who you are as a spiritual being, and you've attached your whole identity to this lifetime. But they see you. They see the forest through the trees. They see the truth of you, and they hold that. Even though you can't see perhaps your own power, your own amazingness, they see it. Let's get a charm bowl for you, my loves. Group 1, advice from your guides and angels in the bowl. Urgent message meant to find you. Whoops. We have the 4 of Swords. Again, that sense of retreat. They really want you to spend some time with them. They really want you to retreat into some meditation, into prayer, if that's your thing. Even asking them to sort of come into your dreams to help to download some information for you. It's just a call to strip away how you're feeling, especially to give yourself some peace, some ease from that anxiety of the 9 of Swords. Let yourself rest so that you can come up with a plan of action that makes sense. There's the 3 of Swords. There's the Ace of Wands. 3 of Swords. I'm, for some reason, being brought back to that 3 of Cups. So there could be a very distinct heartbreak that you're experiencing right now because of a third person, or because of somebody who has hurt you, or potentially, you know, you are thinking about hurting them. This Ace of Wands, though, talks about the beginnings and the inspired thought that leads to everything, that leads to all action. So Spirit is, again, encouraging you to retreat. And any ideas you're having about movement away from this feeling of the 3 of Swords, that's being divinely guided. You're being encouraged in that direction. In the bowl today, we have the R, we have the F, we have the D, FDR. We have special, and we have learn. Don't forget how special you are, and that your only role here on this planet is to learn. That's all we're here to do. It's kind of like a play. We're all just sort of here to learn as much as we can and then head back home. We have live your dream. If you have an inspired thought to move out of something that is holding you back, live your dream. Go after your emotional abundance. We have the elephant. I think of India and leadership and endurance when I see that beautiful elephant. And its trunk is in the air, so that's good luck. Spirit is offering you their good luck. They're saying they're going to make sure that the leaps that you make are not for naught, if that makes sense. We have a nickel here from 2006. There's a beaver on it. The beaver encourages us to get to work. A very focused creature. They work very, very hard. The nickel reminds me of May, so that could be significant, or the 5th of any month could be significant. We have Taurus in the bowl, and we have the whale. And the whale, or we also have watermelon, summertime. The whale symbol for me is a symbol, especially the one where it shows it sort of expressing all that water out of the top of its head. Because if the whale doesn't come up to take that breath and to express itself, it will drown. And in the same way, I feel like it's time for you to express how you're feeling. If you're feeling stopped or not able to express yourself, it's time to really express yourself, or you're going to drown in that emotion. All right, group number 1, that is what I have for you today. I hope that it resonated with you. Spirit is walking with you and guiding you, and they care for you so, so much. If this resonated, I would love to hear about it in the comment section below. I offer a chance to win a free reading for my subscribers on a monthly basis. So if you are a subscriber, please like this video, hit your notification bell, and drop me a comment so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. If you are new to this channel, I would love to add you to the list as well. So please join our family here and leave me a comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading. You can check out my Instagram as well, because I offer a chance to win a free mini read over there. You can check out my Etsy link for a personal reading if you're interested. If you go there and it's empty, which you may find because they've been selling out very quickly, actually. I've been kind of surprised by that. Selling out very, very quickly. So I am updating it every day, and I'm sort of alternating my time slots. So be sure to check back, or drop me a line, or drop me a little note to my Etsy DMs, and I will try to figure out a way to get you in there. But Spirit and I would like to wish you a happy day, and I hope that you come back here and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage. Hello everybody, in group number 2, you were drawn to this gorgeous two-tone Gerbera. And this is your reading, a message, an urgent message from your guides and angels, from your higher self, meant for you today. What message do you have for group 2, please, Spirit? You were drawn to the Herb Crafters Tarot. We have the 10 of Pentacles, and we also have the 7 of Fire. Could be having problems at home, potentially, some obstacles at home. So we'll place those two together. Always remember that these are general readings for the collective, and it can't possibly resonate with you for every detail or every person. We have the King of Wands. We have the Magician. We have the Fool, and it's coming out with the 2 of Swords, chicory here. Back of deck is the Emperor energy, Taurus, very strong. Can we clarify that 10 of Pentacles, please? We have the Hierophant. Clarifying the King of Wands, please. You could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius with that King of Wands in the present. You don't have to be, but 4 of Wands. We have the 5 of Swords. And we have the 4 of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the High Priestess. And we also have the 8 of Swords, which is interesting because the 8 of Swords was actually in that exact position in pile number 1. So there may be a message waiting for you there as well. The High Priestess on the back of the deck, she talks about an inner wisdom that we carry with us. She talks about, you know, how our experiences build up this inner wisdom, and they're sort of used there, and they're placed inside of us as like an arsenal that we can draw upon when we're facing obstacles, particularly if we feel like we're stuck in a situation, because oftentimes we're not actually physically stuck anywhere. It's just a perceived entrapment, which is what this 8 of Swords really represents. Here's the 9 of Wands. there's and I hesitate sometimes to even talk about this with the Nine of Wands, because the Nine of Wands is sometimes a card of like exhaustion. It's like I'm depleted. I've worked so hard. I've done so much. There's nothing. I'm waiting for someone to come in and sort of relieve me of my duties because I'm frustrated. And it's like a sense of wanting someone to come in and save us from this problem, whatever problem you're facing, a feeling of being trapped or stuck in your situation. But the thing is here with this licorice, you know, it's just a perception, because if we look around the corner, you'll see that that doorway is wide, wide open. There's nothing actually obstructing us. It's a perceived entrapment here. For some of you, I can't mince words and say that it has nothing to do with an actual physical marriage in your life. We have the Ten of Pentacles with the Hierophant, and those are both about position, about a foundation that we've built up that we are really proud of, or we've worked really hard to get to. And the Hierophant really deals with our position and ascension, but it talks about institutions like education, government, or marriage as well. So that could resonate with you. It doesn't have to. But the Seven of Fire, the Seven of Wands, is obstacles in that situation. Either obstacles to get to this place of security, or obstacles in general, especially in the recent past here. Obstacles in this connection. We have the King of Wands over top of the Four of Wands. So you definitely could be a fire sign, or you could have people in your life that you're dealing with within this, these confines that are fire signs as well. We have the Magician with the Five of Swords. So you could be dealing with a lot of verbal conflict right now. Some of you are dealing with like arguments and fights going on in your present energy, and again, in your potential marriage here, or some sort of connection with the Hierophant, the Four of Fire. Those again speak to a marriage to me. It will not resonate with everyone, but you're having actual arguments and conflicts, and there's this feeling of like, I don't know if there can be any healing done. Even though it says Five of Swords, the white sage. Sage is about cleansing and about, you know, it's a beautiful tool for cleansing, but I feel like there's a lot of arguments. Cleansing is needed. And maybe even recently it's like you just started speaking your truth within this connection, or it's like you've been holding it back in your chest, and now you've just revealed yourself. You've revealed how you truly feel, and that in of itself makes you feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because now it's out there. All of your intentions, all of your truth is out there, and it's causing a lot of conflict in your current situation. The Magician in the present is talking to us about manifestation, though, and about how joy begets joy and conflict begets conflict. So there is this need for you for healing, because with the Five of Swords in the present, it just feels like nobody's actually winning through these arguments. There's no actual... People may have this perception like, oh, I just won that argument, but it's not really. It's like you may have won the argument, but the war is still waging inside of you. In the future position, we have the Fool with the Four of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Swords. So you're sort of stuck in this transitional place where you have to make a choice. Do you leap and go after perhaps new beginnings and fresh change and all of those, you know, transformation that this Fool represents, you know, leaping to the unknown? Or do we, you know, work on what we have? And that's what Spirit is really kind of calling you to make a choice, to see things clearly, because this Four of Pentacles, it's a concern for our home. It's a concern for the foundation that we've started to make. And this particular one, the Willow, talks about being flexible through change. Understanding that change affects, you know, it's the only constant that we can really depend upon. And it's about talking about the flexibility required to maintain this, if that's something that you desire. Spirit is being very adamant that it is definitely your decision. But there's also this message too, that with the High Priestess as the back of deck, that deep down your answer is there. Deep down you already have your answer. This King of Fire knows what he wants. He knows what he wants. He is sometimes maybe fearful to express it because he, you know, of the change that it could bring about. But Spirit is saying you already sort of know what you want out of this situation. Let me get some clarity here. Can we please clarify that Magician, please? Urgent message from your guides and angels from your higher self. Four of Wands. Some of you guys are, and that's the important thing with the Four of Wands, the Four of Wands in the present. I say this a lot recently on my channel that you know, the present is the gateway to the future. And we are manifesting right now, presently, whether it's good, whether it's bad, we're manifesting that in the future right now. So if we are struggling, if there are a lot of conflicts right now within our relationships, and it doesn't have to be like a romantic relationship, this can just be any relationship that you're struggling with, we're going to beget more of that in the future. We're going to beget more of that if we're not careful. We have the Seven of Swords here. We clarify that King of Wands, please. Ooh, too many, Spirit. We'll try again. Nine of Cups, Five of Cups, Two of Swords. Some of you are hesitant to leave something behind. Back of the deck is the Five of Wands. There's jealousy and insecurity associated with this Five of Wands. And the Two of Swords, again, a sense of indecision of where you want to be or what you want to do, or how, you know, is it worth saving? All of the conflict that you're experiencing, is a situation worth saving? We have this Five of Cups, which talks about looking into the past all of the time, looking into what has already transpired that we can do nothing about, not recognizing that we are fully capable and we need to purposefully make decisions and choices. There's a sense of, too, of protecting myself from making this choice as well, along with that Four of Earth, a sense of wanting to maintain what is and fearful of change. But the Nine of Cups, you know, the Nine of Cups talks about how, you know, especially that King of Wands, the Nine of Cups talks about wishes and desires that are not being fulfilled for you, potentially in the present, in this energy, and that we should always charge towards what is going to fulfill us emotionally. There may be stability here in a financial sense or in a physical sense, but the emotional abundance isn't there. And again, Spirit is saying you already kind of know all of this. You know what your decision, what you want your decision to be. It's just about getting the courage to sort of speak it out loud. Again, I feel like lots of arguments lately. Advice, please, from your higher self. Message from your guides and angels. We have Destiny. That it really speaks to soulmate energy for me. And with the Two of Swords, and that showed up twice, there could be a sense of decision that you have to make, potentially between two people. So please keep that as it resonates. We have Gossip. You may be fearful of what other people's opinions or what other people are going to say about you or about your decisions in life. That could cause a lot of internal conflict for you. But when people are judging us, it's just a reflection of them and what they are not focusing on within themselves. When they have time to worry about everybody else, it means that they are really distracted from their own inner work. We have Treasure Island. That number 9, again with the Nine of Cups, talks about seeking out which brings us the most joy. Going with the flow. And here, this beautiful, you know, it talks about patience, of course, with the turtle. That's one of my favorite animals, is the sea turtle. Talks about the patience required. But I'm kind of drawn back again to pile number 1 because they had the Padre Pio card come up, which talks about praying, hoping, and not worrying about a situation, like letting it go into the world, into the ethereal, and expecting positive results. And that's what the Magician talks about too, is manifesting exactly what you want through your thoughts, feelings, and intentions. But unfortunately, that swings both ways. If we're constantly intent upon arguments, conflicts, we're going to bring more of that into the future. Woo. We have a fork in the road. You're at a very important impasse. That Four of Wands showed up twice for you in the present. The present is the gateway. That's what Spirit really wants. Oh, whoops. Sorry for the wobble. Really wants us to understand about the power that the present holds. The past is dead. It's gone. It doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist either. We're creating that in the present. So if we're filling it with intentive actions and thoughts, we're going to get more abundance in the future. But if we have a lot of obstacles and arguments in the present, we're going to get more of that in the present. We have serendipity. Spirit wants you to understand that there is a beautiful plan in place for you. It's working itself out. Message from your guides and angels, please. We have the future, uncertain about the future, fear of the future with the Octavia E. Butler card. Fear of the future. And the Fool can represent that, fear of transformation. We fear change as human beings so much because it's the only constant thing that we can depend on. It seems like the most ridiculous thing for us to be fearful of. I often liken it to Christmas morning. When we know there's something waiting for us under the tree. We know it's change. We expect it to be good, so we have no fear of it. And Spirit wants us to embody that ideology right in the present moment as well. It reminds me of that Jewel song when she says, not to worry because worry is wasteful and useless in times like these. We have the Pond, a time for deep reflection. The back of the deck is love. And, you know, I heard the Beatles song in my head just now saying, all you need is love. If you can focus on love, there's no room for fear in that. So it's time to kind of reflect. Reflect upon what it is that we want. If it is the salvation of this situation, then we need to be flexible and mend the things that are broken. And if we want change, then we need to be willing to leap into the unknown and face the uncertainties that lie there with love, with a love-filled heart, and understanding that if things that we choose to leave behind, you know, it doesn't negate those lessons and the blessings that came out of it. It doesn't mean that it was all bad. It just means that we are choosing growth. We're choosing more. We're choosing adventure. Guys, bring your guardian angels. Oops. We have take pause. Your guardian angel wants you to take some time to reflect upon what you want so that you can use the opportunity that the present provides in a positive way. You have commitment. There's something with some of you watching when it has to do with family and home. And that commitment is being tested at this time, and you feel that. You feel that change. We do have higher education on the back of the deck, and that could resonate with someone as well. If you're thinking about stepping out of comfort zones and going towards a higher education, you are being encouraged to sort of leap into that. Let's get some messages here from your guides and angels, though. A message, please, for Group 2's guides and angels. Prepare for powerful change. It says your time of struggle is coming to an end, so fear not. You need to teach others. That higher education could really be resonating with somebody as well. It says you are blocking the abundance that wants to come to you. You need to share all of your ideas with the world. Time to reevaluate what you want. It says the tongue has the power of life or death, so please guard against it. Sometimes you may be your own worst enemy. You may convince yourself, you may have a very sort of negative self inner talk that you speak to yourself, and your guides don't like that. Your loved ones in heaven are so proud of you. It says you needed to hit rock bottom so that you could teach others to rebuild. There's a lot here that has to do with education, higher education, teaching other people, using your knowledge to inspire others as well. So please take that as it resonates. Let's get a charm bowl for you, Group 2. A charm bowl for Group 2. We have this one falling out, the 3 of Cups. Asking for support from others. With the 3 of Cups, it talks about friendship. And the Queen of Swords. With the Queen of Cups here, You may often give too much of yourself, especially with your extended family or with your friends. You may give too much of yourself, and it's time for you to ask for some support back. Because I see this Queen of Cups is just giving out everything that she has in her cup and not leaving anything behind for herself. But the Queen of Swords is there to kind of put a stop to it. She's like, you know what? We need to be honest with others about our needs. We need to be honest with the people so that we can guide other people. And I feel like people look up to you. I feel like people always come to you perhaps for advice, for clarity. But Spirit wants you to extend some of that compassion to yourself as well. The Queen of Swords is all about truth, and she's a leader in her own life as well. And she's not afraid to kick people out of their life if they aren't serving her. And there is, honestly, I have to mention this because Spirit won't let it die. There's somebody watching. This won't resonate for everyone, but there's somebody watching where your friends take advantage of you a lot. And it's time to cut some of those friends out of your life. So if you know who these people are, it's time to do that. You'll know if that's for you. We have the letter N, we have the P, and we have a Q. I feel like some of you, there's a nurse watching, like somebody's in nursing too. We do have this sort of Red Cross type of thing here. We have Leo in the bowl. We have the Empress. Again, a sense of abundance, a sense of nurturing, somebody who really nurtures others. We have Taurus in the bowl too, with Leo energy. We have the Pentacles, or the pentagram, whatever it is. I think of the Five of Pentacles when I see that. So feeling emotionally destitute, even financially destitute potentially, but feeling like I'm left out or I'm being, again, taken advantage of by certain people. We have the Sacred Heart of Jesus in the bowl, so a Catholic connection. We also have this, I always think of Chanel number 5 when I see that, as somebody who dresses really well. I think of May, I think of the 5th of any month. And I see this stone as the Knight of Pentacles because of the clearly plowed fields in the background of that card. It talks about patience and reaching our goals. So especially if you are thinking about going into leaving home behind, potentially, for some of you who aren't resonating with that message about, you know, a marriage, maybe leaving your home behind to embark upon a new higher education where you are going to be asked to lead others may resonate with you as well. The Knight of Pentacles always gets to his destination. He always makes it. He may require patience, but he gets there. All right, group 2, that's what I have for you today. An urgent message from your guides and angels meant to find you. If it resonates, I would love to hear your story in the comments section. I would love for you to subscribe to this channel. Please hit your like button. It helps me to bring so much more content to you. And be sure to drop me a comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free monthly reading with me. You just have to be a subscriber, hit your notification bell, and drop me a comment in any of my videos, and you're automatically entered. Congratulations to this month's winner. You can check out my Instagram as well. You can check out my Etsy shop below too. But I really hope that you come back here and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Take care. Hello everybody in group number 3. You were drawn to this gorgeous orangey red Gerbera. I don't even know where to put it. It's so big. I don't know where to put these. And this is your reading, an urgent message meant to find you today from your guides and angels. What do your guides and angels want to say to you today? Your higher self also wants to get involved. What do they have to say to you today? A message meant to find you from Spirit. We have the Four of Swords. We have the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Swords. And we have the Hermit. Back of deck so far is the Six of Pentacles. Let's clarify this row before we get into your message. Clarifying the Four of Swords, Ace of Swords. The World. The Tower. We have a second Nine of Swords coming out. Isn't that interesting? I didn't even realize this deck had these two cards. It must be a misprint. The Magician coming out with that Nine of Swords. So I'm going to keep that. That's interesting. I'm going to keep those together. But I'm going to draw one more card. Death card with this Eight of Wands is coming out. So we're going to keep those together. We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Swords as your back of deck energy. Okay, Eight of Pentacles with the Three of Swords on back of deck. So the Eight of Pentacles is all about the work that we put in and the dedication that we give to that work that we're putting into it. We have the Three of Swords with the Two of Swords underneath here, and the Three of Swords is a very self-explanatory card. It's very sad. It's about disappointment. Underneath is the Two of Swords. It's almost like you're avoiding disaster, or you're trying to avoid heartbreak by just focusing on responsibilities and trying to work hard against that, or to kind of rage against that. In the present energy, what we have here, Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, with the World and the Tower card. I'm getting multiple messages coming in because, of course, I'm dealing with collective energy. For some of you, you are really, really waiting and waiting and waiting for this Ten of Pentacles. You've been waiting for this opportunity for a solid foundation. You've been waiting for your ship to come in, and it's almost like you're losing hope that it's going to come about. It's like you've been waiting so long, and this period of inspiration, of just like manifesting what you want, and it's like you're fearful that it'll never happen, and it's bringing you a lot of anxiety. And that it's added, not just anxiety, but it's sort of transcending into loneliness, into unhappiness with the Hermit, because we had the Hermit, then we had the Nine of Swords coming up for a second time with the Magician. And that's the problem, is that Spirit is really seeing this Nine of Swords, and with the Three of Swords kind of in conjunction with that feeling in the present moment, it's really begetting more of those feelings in the future. We're sort of manifesting our worst fears, which is loneliness, which is seclusion, in the future here. And the Tower energy underneath in this message, like I said, I have multiple messages coming through, and I'm going to get to my second message in a second. But the first message coming through is that this Tower is really required, is the epiphany that needs to come in to shift this mindset. Because Spirit wants us to understand the present is the way to the future. The way that we feel presently is going to bring us more of that feeling in the future if we truly embody it. And because the Nine of Swords is such a profound feeling of loss, of insecurity, of anxiety, of depression, it holds a lot of weight energetically. And so this Tower is sort of like the epiphany needed to shake things up, to recognize if we want success, if we want this, we have to embody that success in the present. The universe doesn't, our happiness doesn't just come out of singular moments where we get everything that we're hoping for. We have to find joy in the journey. And if we can't do that, if we allow ourselves to sort of be embodied and overcome by feelings of fear that it'll never happen, then we're going to bring more of that into the future. But even the future, you can see, even with the Hermit, there's still hope there. Even if we can't bring ourselves out of this energy, there's still hope here, because the Hermit holds in his lantern that beautiful star. And the star represents hope and faith and healing as well, which is what really I feel like needs to happen here for you, Group 3. I feel like there's a lot of healing that needs to happen. The secondary message I'm getting, for those of you who aren't resonating with that, is that you are currently in this Ten of Pentacles. And you have been, sitting on the fence for a while as to wanting change there, wanting more, wanting shifts, wanting movement. And there's a lot of fear of that change, a lot of fear of creating chaos. There could be even children involved, so please take that as it resonates with these children. It will not resonate with everyone, but for some of you, there are children involved in this situation, which really is plaguing you with this anxiety, with this insecurity about causing this chaos, because the Tower card does represent chaos that we don't return from. We can't go back after we speak our truth, after we get it off of our chest, something you've been holding back for a while, your truth. You can't go back from that, and there are some pretty heavy price tags associated with it. Again, bringing more anxiety into the future though, and because of that fear of change, that's why, you know, the Tower is not the main energy, so it's just the fear of the Tower that is the main energy. I don't see movement in the present, which is leading again to the Hermit, to the Nine of Swords, and the sense with the Magician about how, you know, I wield the power over the elements, all of the elements. I am manifesting exactly what in the future, exactly what we're giving off in the present right now. And these two cards falling out are sort of like Spirit's way of encouraging movement. You know, the Eight of Wands here it's like this sense of getting caught up in change. It's like nothing changes if nothing changes. And if we don't address this fear of this Tower, eventually this Tower may just expose itself. It may just crumble all on, oops, sorry about the wobble. It may just crumble all on its own, because I feel like they're getting swept up by change here. And it's change that they no longer have control over. But it comes with it a necessary, it's like the death of one thing. This creature, this poor possum, has passed away. But what has grown out of the passing has been new hope, new life, new beginning, life for others, hope for others, expansion for others. It feeds growth underneath as well. So there is this message. It's like, honestly, there's like this message coming through that you can't really stop a freight train from coming. So all of this anxiety about what you're trying to avoid, it's actually happening within you already. And it's going to kind of catch up with you in the future here. It's like we're going to get caught up and swept up in that change. But it's coming. It's coming in for you anyway. We do have a shift coming in for you with this death. And it's not a physical death, but it is something, it can sometimes be fearful. Change is scary. It's about a shift and a change that is necessary for you, that you've been putting off for a very long time. You can even see the cobwebs here. It's a reminder that we're weaving our own destiny though, and that things that we're trying to avoid, we may not be able to avoid them. We may not be able to avoid that change, but there's hope and there's happiness to be had on the other side of it as well. Again, with the Two of Swords, we haven't been ready in the past potentially to see our power and our ability to make a decision that maybe we've been sitting upon for a while. Group 3, please. Urgent message from your guides, angels, and higher self. The message you need today. We have a change is in the wind. And it could be a change to your foundation. Again, a foundation that you have in place, or a foundation that you do want to have in place in the future. We have a leg up here. The 3 and 4 is a 7, and this leg up card always reminds me again of children. It talks about obstacles though, the number 7. Again, some of you are really fearful of making waves and changes for children in your life at this time. You could be a mother, but take that as it resonates, or a father. Again, it's just about energy. It's like you make decisions based on the good of other people and not on the good of your own emotional abundance. I see that you're not even focused on your own emotional abundance. It's like there's a lack of that, but it's like you're focused on everybody else's stability. We have a house. Could be concerning things at home or a foundation at home. We have Sandra Sister Knows the Body, which is a sexually charged card. Talks about desire and cravings and things that you want. again, maybe wanting change, craving change. We have the belonging card though. And this card, Janet Frame, I believe she spent some time, she was an author, she spent some time in a mental institution, and she underwent some pretty terrible treatments at that place. You know, there were electroshock therapies and things of that nature. And when she came out of there, she had a really skewed sense of belonging within her own family. So there could be this sense of you going after what you want internally, like going after these desires inside of yourself, and then worrying about what reflection that will have on your sense of belonging with your family, or people's opinions of you, or people's expectations. And that's the thing that Spirit really wants you to understand and embody, that everybody else's expectation of who you are and what you're supposed to do and where you're supposed to be sitting in life is not your responsibility to uphold. That's something that's a burden they've placed on themselves. And the cauldron even speaks to a rich broth and surprising yourself, you know, when we're able to step boldly out of these confines, surprising ourselves with what we can accomplish through our efforts. Advice, please, from your guides, angels. Message you need. Woo! We have impatience. We have enlightenment, and we have growth as well. Back of the deck is the bittersweet. This could be a move or a switch in your life that holds a lot of sadness, but also holds so much excitement for you. So you may be hesitant to make it because, again, it could be something that other people suffer from, or you're fearful of creating chaos and change for other people. This beautiful enlightenment card, though, talks about you and talks about your purpose and talks about how everything that happens to you is serving you in some way. It's helping you to grow. It's helping you to learn. And we're not meant to stay in one place. We're not meant to stay stagnant. We're ever evolving beings of light. You know, we are energy. So energy is always in motion. This growth card, it talks to us about recognizing, you know, there may be deep roots where you're sitting right now in a place where you need to make a choice. There may be deep roots, and this doesn't even have, this can be in any area of your life. This can be in love, your finances, your career, your physical house. You know, deep roots have been planted, but we have to recognize sometimes when something isn't thriving. And we have to pull out those roots, or pay more attention to that which is thriving around us, to put our effort into the growth that makes sense, and not into something that maybe has deep roots and maybe has been in place for a long time, but is no longer thriving above the surface, isn't offering us any abundance above the surface. This talks about stagnancy. Let's get some messages from your guides and angels, please. A message from the guides and angels, group 3. You are manifesting financial abundance. It says reach out for help when you need it. You don't have to be an island. You are very intuitive. Trust this. Unstoppable change is coming. So all of the change you're trying to avoid, Spirit's saying you're not going to avoid it anyway. The change is coming in for you. But they want to assure you not to get overwhelmed by that change, because from the death of one situation opens up beautiful possibilities for growth and change. And that's what you're meant to do here. The present is the gift. Please enjoy it. It's time to shift your perspective. Don't worry about your sense of belonging. You belong inherently. Your loved ones in heaven are so proud. Lay your worries at the foot of the cross. It says, look around, be still, and then be grateful. So they are really asking you to stay present in the present moment, to use it as the gift that it is. Tell the universe what you want. Knock and it shall be opened to you. Seek and you shall find. Ask and it shall be granted. Back of the deck says you were, sorry, it's a mess. You were meant for more. And you know this. There's an intuition inside of you. You already know this, that you're meant for more, that you're not meant to be sitting where you're sitting right now. There we go, the Two of Swords, the Knight of Swords reversed, the Page of Wands. So you may have been stuck in that mode of indecision. We saw that here with your Two of Swords energy. Fearful of change here with the Four of Pentacles underneath. I didn't even see him sitting there. Fearful of change, wanting to protect yourself from that change, but Spirit's saying that change is coming anyway. With this Knight of Swords reversed, you may not be ready for it, or you feel like you're not ready for it. But the Knight of Swords talks about speaking our truth, even if we don't know the consequences of that truth. Taking our masks off, seeing things clearly. And the Page of Wands here, he is like the beautiful, expectant, positive. He's like your most positive friend who can't see, you know, the bad in anyone. He just embodies the sense of adventure, of happiness, of expectation, of abundance. And that's what Spirit wants you to embody so that you can bring that energy into your future. I'll bring this closer so it's easier on me. What do we have today for you? Group number 3, we have T and L. We have a Taurus in the bowl too. We have a quarter here from 1995. There's an elk on this quarter. 25th of the month could be significant to you. The elk is usually a symbol of like endurance or stamina as well. We have the little butterfly, which is a beautiful symbol of transformation. We have the owl, looking at things from a higher perspective and speaking truth to ourselves. We have the rabbit, which is the Page of Wands for me. The rabbit it's about being nervous, but doing things afraid. You know, the rabbit's a very nervous creature, but they leap into adventure and they're very playful. We have the world. The world is waiting for you. Success. We have, again, the butterfly. Transformation is a beautiful thing. And the screw. The screw is my symbol for, like, it's like a physical sexual desire charm. So take that as it resonates. All right, group 3, that's what I have for you today. An urgent message from your guides and angels meant to find you today. If this resonates, I would love to hear about it in the comment section. I would love for you to be a part of this family and subscribe to this channel. Please hit the notification bell, hit your like button, and drop me a comment below. And if you drop me a comment and you're a subscriber, you will be automatically entered for a chance to win a free reading with me. Congratulations to Lynn, this month's winner. And I just want to say that you can check out my Instagram as well. I offer a chance to win a free mini read over there. That post will be going up soon. And you can check me out on Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. If you go to my channel, my page on Etsy, and it's empty, it just means I've sold out for that day. I've been selling out very quickly, but I do repost every day, so keep checking back for your chance at a reading. But I really hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Take care.